Hi everybody, today we're doing dancing daisy fields. So what I'm doing right now is I'm setting up my palette so that I have the right paints, and yeah, we're going to start in a few minutes. Join us. Right everyone, let's start. I have put in my palette a little blob of all of the colours. So I have black, white, red, yellow, blue, green. And with that, we're going to start covering the whole of the back of this canvas with a blue. I'm using my biggest brush for this size canvas, and I'm going to mix a little bit of blue into the white, actually quite a lot of blue into the white. And I'm going to make myself a medium colour blue, quite a lot. Even though I run out of paint as I'm painting my canvas, I will just add some more from this palette, you'll see. So I want to cover the whole of this canvas with that nice mix. Got some interesting blobs there. Add some more blue. And while you're painting this, the full up and down motion across the canvas that I want to get, to give myself a bit of an impressionist picture here. I'm going to add in a little bit more dark blue. Quite a bit more dark blue. A bit more white. Give myself slightly lighter colours here, and all the way down to the bottom. Cover that canvas as quickly as you can with nice strong upwards, up-down movements. There we go. And I've got quite a few streaks, as you see. I want those streaks. I want them to look streaky. In fact, I'm going to add more darker blue to that section there. Give myself a few more streaks there. Maybe a few more white streaks in there. Not going to blend them too much. As long as my streaks are going up and down, there we go. I want now to add a little bit of more dark effect in here. So to do that, I'm going to take a little bit of red, add that to my blue to make a purple. That purple's got a little bit of white, which I wasn't quite looking for. So let me wash my brush off, dry it, add some more red to some blue that doesn't have any white in it. That's more like it. Dark colour. There we go. That's a dark purple colour. I want that to come out in my streaks. That dark purple colour. So a touch of red and blue together. Add a bit more to this side as well. So you see I have some interesting background there. It's not blended, it's quite streaky, and that's the effect I was going for. A little bit more blue there. Right, there we go. That's my background. I'm quite happy with having all of those different streaks. I'm going to wash my brush off, dry it again, make sure I've got no blue on there. My grass is going to be not plain green, because grass is never plain green. It's always a little bit more of an olivey colour. So to do that, to get that olive colour, I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to my green. Now that gives me quite a bright, vibrant green colour, which I'm going to dull down a bit by adding in some blue and a bit of black, perhaps too much black. bit of black. So my combination of green, black and yellow with a touch of blue is going to give me an olive colour. Now I'm going to go from the bottom of the canvas and flick my grass strokes up like that. My grass strokes are going to be different lengths. You can see it goes up at different lengths. I'm going to give myself an interesting grass profile here. Add some more black in there. Make it quite dark. As long as I'm flicking from the bottom of the canvas up, I should get some really good mixes here of colour. And that's actually what grass looks like. It's a good mix. Dark to light. So that's covered the bottom of my canvas there. What I can do is add some more, turn my brush sideways and go sideways. Add some more streaks up like that sideways. Take some plain yellow, add those. As long as I've got those nice streaks coming in, I'm good. Hot to trot. There we go. I'm quite happy with that. That looks pretty streaky to me. Maybe I want to add a bit more of an olive there, across the bottom there. Like that. Your canvas, you can do what you like with it. So I'm quite happy with those streaks. I'm going to put that brush away and get it washed nicely so that I don't have any paint left in it next time I use it. Now, for my stalks, I'm going to use this round brush, plain black. I've got some lovely streaks going on there. I quite like that background. Plain black, get a tip on the brush, so twirl the brush until you have a tip, because I don't want to put big stalks in here. I'm going to use the tip of that brush to put some small thin stalks going in all the way down to the bottom into my grass. If your colours are blending, just go over it with some more black. Wait till it's a bit dry, and then you can use it when it's a bit dry. I want a stalk that comes up to about there. I'm going to have a wobbly stalk that goes kind of there. I will have to go over those later because you see they're not black enough for me. But I'm just setting in where my flowers are going to go. I think I'm going to have a flower that goes into there. So let's put a stalk that goes up that way. So you see my stalks aren't actually going up straight. They're also blowing in the wind. Let's put another one that goes like that, shall we? So it crosses that one there. As you see, it's blending a bit too much, so I will have to go over that with black later. But at least I have an idea of where my stalks are going to go, where my flowers are going to go. I want a flower that goes into that section there, so I'll wait for that to dry before I put my flower there. I want a flower that's in that area there. So let's put a stalk there for now. Let's see, how many more stalks do I need? I want another flower here. So maybe put a stalk that goes down that way. And because they're just impressions, you don't have to be very perfect with your stalks. They can be thick and thin. They can go all any which way. That one's going to be a bit higher than that one, I think. In the end. Let me see now. Do I want any more? I do. I want one that goes into that area there. Not at that same level there, so let's make it go up a little bit higher than that one there. We've got one that's in there, so that's good. Maybe I want another one here. You'll see when you've put the flowers in whether you need some more and whether you should put some more stalks in. So I've got two big flowers here. It's going to be my focus. 3 big flowers there, and then a few more coming smaller. Now I'm going to wait for that to dry because I need to put white on there, and white doesn't work very well on wet paint. So let's hold a second until that dries. Right. My painting's a lot drier. And you can see the blacks come out a little bit darker, so that's fine. You can, at this stage, if your black stalks blended too much into your background, you can repaint them in. So that's something that I can do right now, is where I think it's blended too much, just repaint that line back in. You don't have to. Might be nice just to have those indications as opposed to absolute lines. There we go. Well, I'm going to wash that brush off, and now I'm going to put my daisies in. My daisies. They're slightly higher than the stalk, so if I'm going to do a daisy on this stalk, I'll put my dot for the middle of the daisy just above where my stalk goes. So it's a little bit away from the stalk, because what I want to do is go from the middle of that stalk and flick a few pretty little petals into that daisy, like so. With plain white on that same brush that we've just used, like that. This one, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, and this one I'm going to put some petals in the round, so these petals will go like that, around that center point. Just flick some petals out with that brush, and you use the flick for the end of the petal. Add some more in. There we go. So that's my daisy there. I want a nice big daisy for this one. So let's do nice big daisy for this one. Look at that. Pretty. Pretty daisy. And you can add some more leaves in, or petals in, as you go, if you think that there's not enough. Just try and keep as close to the center as you can to make your petals. Right, let's do another one. That's a half one there, so maybe I should do another full one here. That's my center there. So I'll do another full one here. Let's do a nice big one for this one too. There we go. Big petals flicking out from the center of that daisy there. Where am I missing some? I don't have one there. I think I might put one there. Yeah, you know what? Maybe a little one here. But this one's going to go in this direction here. Those new ones I've put in there obviously need some stalks. So wash the brush off, load it up with some black, and put a stalk in. I'm going to put a stalk in here, and that stalk comes down and goes around like that. There we go. My daisies now have stalks. Okay, I want to put my daisy center in. To do that, I might have to mix a little bit of the yellow into the white, because yellow is a bit more of an opaque, a transparent color. So a little bit of white in your yellow just makes it more opaque. I want to have centers for my daisies. That one's going to be a little bit above. That one's going to be in the center. And this doesn't show up as well as I want it to, so I'm going to mix a little bit of black into my yellow. So it's not quite black, it's more of a very dark olive. And I'm going to put, with that, I'm going to add a little bit of shadow underneath my daisy centers, like that. There you go. Now you can see that I have centers on those daisies. Oh, I love them. So now what I'm going to be doing for here is I'm going to take this round brush, load it up with some white paint, and hold my finger out and flick hit this brush on the finger and flick some white spatters in there. You can get a little bit more creative with those white spatters and hold your brush a little bit closer to the canvas and flick with your finger, which gives you a few different types of splatters like that. That gives me a lovely splatter there. I think I want another one here, like so. Maybe another one there. So I've got quite a lot of spatter there, and let's give myself a nice big one or two there. My painting. I want to be more creative with it. There we go. I love that. Okay, there we go. That's your painting done. I don't want any more added on to that. I have quite a few splatters. So if you're happy with that, don't do too many because you don't want to cover your painting with that, with those splatters. But beautiful, messy hands. Get messy. So there we go. There is my painting. Hope you enjoyed, everybody. And the last thing that you really need to do before you leave is sign your name. So let's do that. I think I'll sign mine in slightly lighter green. I'm going to put that down here. Yeah, Kim was here. There we go. That fits in with mine. Otherwise, have a good day, everybody. See you next time.